Hi there, my name is Kay Moon and I'm a twin flame channel and Western astrologer. And this is a video about the new moon in Aquarius taking place on January 21st, 2023 at 3:53 p.m. Miami, Florida. I am so excited about this new moon energy. If you happen to listen to the Lightworker energy update first, you already know why. It's so much love in the energy and the fields right now. And I'm going to talk about some of that here before we get into the content. Since this is the Twin Flame video update, I do have a few announcements for you guys. The first one is that I am going to be hosting a special live free union meditation this coming Saturday to herald in the union energy with you, to bring this union energy into our fields, to activate it inside of the way we are thinking, the way we are talking, the way we are feeling. And it'll be here on YouTube. You don't have to go anywhere else or have a special link. Just come back to the channel on Saturday, January 21st at 3 p.m. So it'll be just roughly 1 hour before the new moon in Aquarius is fully the new moon. And we'll be together to usher in this union energy at this new moon time. It's 8 o'clock Greenwich Mean, but if you need a time zone converter, you can find a link below this video, also over in the community section, so that you can find your local time. Super pumped about this. That's the first announcement. So mark your calendar. It will be free. It will be live. You can also listen again. If for some reason you aren't free at that time, you want to tap into the energy and cultivate the energy with others who are doing the same at the same time, then by all means, feel free to do so when you have time. Don't feel like, the only opportunity is live. You can certainly listen at another juncture. The second thing that I wanted to share is that I am in the midst of a rather large email backlog, and I'm working through responding to emails in batches. So if you haven't heard back from me, I am not ignoring you. Just know that I'm going through them in the order in which they were received, and there's just a lot. And I'm letting you know this specifically because I did see several emails come through more recently about wanting to book sessions with me. And if you were hoping to make a personal one-on-one, like email exchange thread with me before you book, that might take some time, but everything you need to know about booking, any questions you have about availability, what I can do in a reading, what readings I'm offering right now, everything you need to know is on my website at kmoonastro.com. Do not wait for me to get back to you. Unfortunately, you might be waiting just a little bit more time, but you can certainly get in my calendar for as early as I think like the first week of February, which is just in like 10 days time at this point. And we can talk without you needing to wait. So feel free to book if you want to do that. Otherwise, if you're waiting to hear back from me, you definitely will. It's just going to take a moment. The next piece of announcement information I have for you, I was going to say energy, is that I am providing special access, since this union window energy is all about union with self. This weekend only, as we bring in the new moon in Aquarius, I'm bringing back access to Star School 101 and 301 Astro Basics. So you get that foundation of understanding who you are, how you were made, what you're up to here, what your strengths are, what your talents are, where love is for you in your chart. All of that is in 101. And then if you decide you want to join me for 301, which is going to be taking place very soon here, all of the dates are in the linked pages below this video. You just need to click on the link. You'll be able to find everything you need about start dates, office hours, how much it costs, everything. 301 is my North Node Mastery program. And in that program, we're going to talk all about the reason why you were born, what life is trying to teach you, the lessons you have here to integrate on Earth. And it's a 5-class program that is an advanced program that comes with live office hours, Q&A, that will help you really get grounded in the truth of who you are. You will get lifetime access. Because classes are pre-recorded, you'll get the opportunity to listen and then come to office hours, which will be live. And if you can't attend live, you will also have the option to be able to send questions in ahead of time. There's a special place to do that on the course platform. The first 15 to enroll will get a free gift. They'll get the Master Your Chiron Wound workshop. So anyone who's been walking around with certain woundedness that they just want to heal and step into leadership around, you'll get that for free. You'll also get the guide to retrograde planets. So if you're a student of astrology like me and you're curious what it means in your chart, if you were born with Venus retrograde, Mars retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, etc., the guide to retrograde planets will help you illuminate that and how to work with your planetary gifting. Now, you can get both of these separately if you would like to do so. Just know that North Node Mastery is an advanced class, and you will need to have the foundations provided in Astrology Basics 101 to be able to understand it. Both of them are linked right below this video. Just go to the Life Purpose package and you'll find your way to this page. So if you'd like to invest and enroll, you can do so now. This goes away on Sunday. The classes go back in the vault. Once that's happened, we will then move into new content for the new year in some new ways, which I am very excited about. Let's just see. Last thing I wanted to say was that thank you guys for commenting on the last video. I had run an experiment at the end of last year for several lunations. I tried out something called First Look in the Lightworker Energy Update, which is the main energy update, not the Twin Flame one. That's posted at the same time as the Twin Flame one on this channel. And First Look is an opportunity to see the next lunation before it happens. I pull up the date at the end of the Lightworker Energy Update video, and I give you my first impression of what that lunation is going to be about so you can understand the way the energy flows from the last lunation to this one. I will not be doing First Look in the Twin Flame videos, only in the Lightworker Energy Updates. So if you're curious about what happens next, you definitely want to tune into that video. All right, now let's dive into the new moon in Aquarius. As I mentioned, it is January 21st, the same day as that free meditation we're going to do here on YouTube, 3:53 p.m., happening on the eastern seaboard of the United States. Please check a time zone converter for your local time. Here is our new moon right here in Aquarius. You see sun, you see moon, and oh my goodness, there is so much love energy in the air, specifically for divine counterparts at this lunation. Wow. I'm going to tell you, now you guys know that if things are going to be rough or rocky or challenging or come with, something that you need to be aware of, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give it to you straight, the same way life gives it to me, the same way the divine gives it to me. I'm going to tell you what I was told the way I was told it, and without any sugarcoating. So if I'm telling you this is really good energy, I'm not making it up. I am not sugarcoating. I am not coming in blowing smoke. I'm giving you real talk. Wow, I have never in all of my time reading seen energy this good, with both the divine counterparts together in the sky, a once in 7-year experience, talking to a new moon, which portends new cycles, and specifically a new moon that talks about the new, the next, the quantum leap forward, the evolutionary leading edge of human thought and creation. That's Aquarius. With both counterparts speaking there, holy guacamole, is this a new cycle? is this new energy and divine counterpartships. This is got new and renewed written all over it and all about love. And because this is the first new moon of the new year, this is the vibration and frequency that we walk through the remainder of the year with. Now, because the divine counterparts are playing such a central role in this new moon, in fact, they're one of the primary and dominant influencing factors of this new moon. The Lightworker energy update is basically a twin flame video. So twin flames, y'all get 2 videos at this lunation, but that one goes into rich detail about all of the planets having conversations about love in the energy, not just the divine counterparts, but all of the way the other planets are supporting the divine counterparts at this time in their union energy activation. So in this video, rather than completely rehashing everything I just said planetarily, I'm going to recommend that you just have a look at the main Lightworker energy update, because it's basically a love story, love energy update, to get that information, because otherwise I'd just be pretty much repeating verbatim. Instead of doing that here, I'm going to give a brief overview and then include an excerpt from the last office hours that I had with Star Schoolers about how this energy works, how to work with it to manifest union energy, and what to expect in your own connection. Now, I know many of you have wondered when I'm going to reopen twin flame readings again, when I'll look at your twins chart again, when all of that will happen. The real answer is I don't know. What I do know is that right now, it's just not aligned. And it's not aligned at this time because this is a union with self energy more than anything. Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, where the counterparts are meeting up, Juno and Jupiter, there they are in Aries. Aries represents the individual. It represents the self. It represents solohood, solo ambition and drive. It represents forward momentum, but forward momentum that's driven by an individual as opposed to a group or a partnership. As such, this is the perfect time to deeply understand our own union with self, of the 5 types of union energy that I've spoken about in the union energy updates that I shared in 2022 and 2021. I'll link a couple of those videos below. You'll also find that I talk about in one of them in particular. I would just want to show you guys which video it is. In this video, let me share screen correctly. There we go. In this particular video, the one that looks like this, Union Within, Union Energies for All Signs, it's got this purplish reddish background. On this video in particular, I talk about which house this Aries energy is going to fall for you, so that you know precisely what your union window work is, whether you can afford a reading with me or not. I don't want you feeling pressured around knowing the answer. The answer is right there for you and it's free. So just watch that video if you need to know. You just need to get a free copy of your chart to know where Aries falls in your chart, and I explain how to do that inside of that video, how to get the free copy of your chart, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So because this is union with self energy, that's Aries here. The divine counterparts are sitting together in the sign of the self. I've been deeply called to focus exclusively on helping those ready to cultivate union with self. And when you hear the Star School excerpt, you'll more deeply understand why. But please know that in cultivating this energy, this union with self, this is the number one step to cultivating union with a counterpart at this time of any label. Soulmate, karmic, twin flame, I don't know, whatever label you want to put on divine love. cultivating union with self is the number one way to get it at this moment in time. There is no other thing to focus on given the position of the counterparts in Aries. So surrendering to this process leads to everything else that we want to experience on the other side once we've cultivated it on the inside of us. Now, there is strong mirroring energy for the counterparts, with the two of them in the same sign receiving the same activations from the same planets simultaneously. And I go through and I illuminate what this all means for them inside of the Lightworker energy update. So by all means, have a listen to that if you want an astrologically detailed illumination of this, the activating energy for this year and this union window. Okay. Now, okay. Yes. So I really can't stress enough that whether you're in communication, want to restore communication, or living together and want to get married, this is the perfect time to read with me while the energy is hitting the earth. So this period of time I've been shown at this new moon, and it goes through, I'd say, about the first 4 months of the year. And I'll talk about this in the excerpt from Star School. This period of time, and I mentioned it on the last Twin Flame update, if you want to have a listen to that. This period of time, these first kind of 120 days of this new year, this energy is hitting the earth in a very specific way, and it's bringing activation to, and you can call it what you want, neutrinos, God spark, you can call it cellular DNA activation. As this energy hits earth and hits us, we are getting adjustments, we're getting tune-ups, we're getting calibrated to union energy. Okay. And this is going to cause for all of us, our life path to call upon us to make room for love energy to deepen so that we can experience it in the now time. And if this is something you really want personal guidance on, because if you're stuck and if you're blocked and you're like, I don't know how to do that, I don't know where I'm blocked, or I'm blocked, but I can't figure out how to get unstuck, book with me over at K Moon Astro. A private reading is the best way to get into clarity around these things. So let's get into these peak union window energies and how to use it to manifest union. Yes. As previously mentioned, normally separate, the divine counterparts are together in a singular. And so I'm going to speak about the energies instead of divine feminine and divine masculine, which I historically have done. You know, I'll talk about the divine feminine first, and then I'll talk about the divine masculine energy second. Instead of doing that, because they're all getting the same they're both getting the same activation from all the planets. Instead of doing that, I'm going to talk about the connection. There will not be a separate divine feminine or divine masculine update. All right. So I just want to mentally prepare those who are expecting separate energies at this time to know I'm not talking about them separately until they actually separate and there's something to say that's unique and different about each path. Right now, they're walking the exact same path. Okay. The connection is asking, with both of them in Aries, the sign of the self, the connection is asking both people who are a part of it to look in the mirror, to come home to our individual selves, to focus on our individual ambitions. Because they are sextile, this new moon, sextiling energy is the energy of benefit if we work the steps in the path. They're starting a new cycle. New moon, new cycle, Aquarius, quantum leap. Expect that there will be things that kind of come out of nowhere. And I've talked about this last year, given how in the mix Uranus is. Uranus is the energy of lightning quick movement, the hand of the divine. It is divine intervention. It's rapid growth and transformation. It's also quantum leap energy. Because Uranus is playing such a large role in the way the counterparts moved last year, will move this year, expect, and because this is a new moon in Aquarius, the sign that Uranus governs, activating the divine counterparts, expect that Uranian energy, quick moving, out of nowhere, out of the blue kind of energy is going to be a part of your connection this year. Okay. Things that you didn't see coming, couldn't have planned for. Sextiles provide benefit, but here's the deal. If you want to win the lottery, you got to play the lottery. If you want to win a car, you've got to enter. If you actually want to get surprises, you do have to put a little bit of work in. You have to show up. There has to be room, right? And so, in order to get the gifting of this, some of the work of the last chapter has to get completed for some of us. And that's sextiles. Sextiles talk about getting a little bit of work done. Okay. And there has been a lot of talk about that here on this channel. If you're a regular subscriber, you already know that we've been talking about the changes that we've been prompted to make for the last 4 to 5 months. And if you're new, welcome. Please subscribe. And it should be clear by now what's necessary. And it should already be in progress. Okay. You should already be underway with selling the house, selling the car, selling the business, investing in the new business, finding the business partner, working toward that promotion at your job, quitting the job. All of those things should already be underway by this point because last year's energy was so pushy and so demanding coming into this union window to set you up to be ready. Now, the connections energy is opposite Ceres conjunct the shaman's asteroid there, which gives us choice energy. Anytime we have an opposition, we're dealing with choice. Either union, which is this energy here, or we can deal with cycles. That's what Ceres deals with. And struggle and toil, that's what the shaman's asteroid deals with in order to learn greater lessons. That would be about looking into and digging into more past pain, more past cycles. Nothing's changed. You're responding to the old things in the old way, not a new way, right? You're allowing the same habits, the same patterns to go on. No intermediation, no checking it, no transformation. And you can certainly do that. And I've really talked about this being a time of great consequence. This isn't one of these moments in time where it's like, the reality is we live in an extraordinarily benevolent universe. We are so loved, we are so cared for, and we are so powerful that if we so choose and decide, you know what? I'm not done lighting matches and sticking them into the outlet. I still like being in fight or flight instead of being at peace. I'm still really, really interested in the drama. If that's where we are, hey, we can have more of that. That is totally fine. But it doesn't have to be that way when we step into union with ourselves, with our true power, with our true ability to create, with our capacity to generate something out of nothing instead of trying to force and push against that which is not moving in our favor at this time anyway. And so because we have this choice, the energy is opposite. We can have struggles and pain of the past, cycles, and all of that, or we can step into this union with self. There, with a 180-degree opposition, like what we've got, there's no in between. We can go into the union with self energy, or we can be mired in what once was in the connection. It's up to us. Last year, as you recall, was filled with loads of purge and release energy. As we had the divine feminine energy speaking as heavily as she was to the south node, she was held up in Pisces with Neptune, doing a lot of purge and release. She was making some aspects to the south node here in some ways that were causing her to need to release, shed, purge. We all have feminine energy, right? Because she's popped out of that. She's no longer in the release cycle. We're no longer in the place of needing to look and let go, look and let go, look and let go. There's an opportunity where what needed to get released because we were just attached to it from an ego perspective now has an opportunity. There's clean slate for restoration and renewal from a spiritual perspective. And you can pray for that, manifest around that, whatever you do to call things out of the ether and into the world as a divine creator being incarnate. This is the time to work with that energy. Okay. It's going to look, whatever you're praying for is going to look a bit different than what it's ever been, right? And that's the function of Cheroklo speaking to this new moon and then speaking to the counterparts again in sextile. Cheroklo here is the energy of divine intercession. It's someone standing between us and the divine, advocating on our behalf that we get back anything that we've lost. Now, in the mythology, Cheroklo's advocating for her son's sight to be returned and restored to him. And while his sight with his 3D eyes and his body weren't restored, he was given a gift of psychic sight, psychic insight. He was given the ability to see without seeing, which took him into a brand new pathway in his lifetime. Here's the thing about having divine intercession on our side at this moment. Anything we're asking for, it is in fact going to be given. And it's going to be really important to be clear, decisive about what we're asking for and to ask in discernment, not to just kind of, and ask knowing that it's not just our words, but it's also with all this energy in Aquarius. You see, Aquarius looks like waves. It looks like frequency. It's about our vibration, right? So if you're asking from a place of like defeat and depression, and oh, I'm never going to get it, and maybe if you want to do this thing for me, if you were ever real, then fine, do it for me. No, because you see the divine counterparts sit here in a sign of personal power. That's Aries. They're activated via a new moon that's connected with personal power. That's Pluto. You see how close Pluto sitting to the counterparts. And so this is really about asking from a place of power, from a place of understanding who you really are. Again, union with self as a divine creator being incarnate, how you were really made, what you're really capable of, and that you do not have to beg and plead for scraps. You do not have to accept half plates of leftovers. You do not have to, if something's not working, you can throw the whole thing out and build anew, right? You do not have to go take from somebody else something that is theirs. None of that has to be the case. You are creative enough and powerful enough to manifest that which is perfect for everyone concerned and all involved, including and especially you with an energy like this. Okay. What's interesting about this is that Aries has enough foot and mouth energy. It has enough brashness, enough crudeness, where whatever is being asked for, just ask for it in the vulnerability of your heart. Honesty, authenticity, self-awareness. You're going to see a lot more of that in the connection this year. Okay. And that's going to be especially with Lilith here. Here's our friend Lilith speaking to the counterparts. With Lilith speaking to them, here's the deal. There's a lot of unapologetically me energy to this. She's influencing them to be kind of team 0Fs, if you know what I mean. There's an as I am, this is what it is energy. Love me as I am or release me, but this is what it is. That kind of vibe here, which really starts with loving ourselves as we are, being in a position of zero make wrong with who we are. There's good reason for why we are the way we are. There's good reason for why we've made the choices we've made. That self-compassion can lend itself to our self-empowerment. And in so giving it to ourselves, we've then built the precise mechanism and tool of it to share with other people, thus restoring union with others. Okay. But it starts within first. The two of them are having a square to Pholus. Dun, 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 dun. I've spoken about Pholus being the energy of sacrifice, kind of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Pholus is having a conversation with Mercury, again with the foot and mouthness of Aries. Aries is really known for kind of saying the wrong thing at the wrong time and the wrong way, and then needing to come back and clean it up. This is going to be, interestingly enough, this is all about our level of consciousness and communication, where we have either undermined that and undermined through our consciousness and communication, our level of consciousness and communication, we've undermined having the experience that we say we want, or we've allowed other people, the way we let them talk to us, the way we let them think about us, we've not introduced boundaries into the circumstance. And then that's created undermining in the connection as well. We just kind of go along with them and they start acting any kind of way. And then we get any kind of results. No, no, no. Aries will let you know. No, that we're not doing that anymore. This is what we're doing. This is what I want. This is the direction I want things to go. And that's the energy that's influencing the connection as we move into this year. It is a perfect time to selflessly apologize to people if the way you've thought about them or the way you've spoken about them has created compromise in your capacity to connect with them. It's also a really great time to put aside ego and pride and really own what we've brought to the party, but also to reveal where we've been hurt and request insight and understanding where appropriate so we can cultivate compassion with other people. And it's always a fine time to apologize to ourselves for the ways in which we have participated in our own compromise by putting ourselves down, thinking less of ourselves, again, coming home to us. The sextile, let's see. Okay, I've talked about the sextile from Chariklo to the new moon. It's the energy of super blessing and help from God, the angels, the ancestors, Holy Spirit, whomever you pray to, work with on the other side as your connection to the divine. Their aid is with us now and supporting new union energy in this new cycle. But you need to be bold enough to ask. That's one of Aries' gifts, is that it creates a lot of boldness. Okay. Now, I'm going to share with you the manifestation excerpt and kind of the overview excerpt of kind of this Aries union cycle in Aries that I shared with the Star Schoolers during office hours. Before we dive in, please mark your calendars for the live union meditation this Saturday. I'm super pumped to do that with you guys. I think you're going to love it. I think it'll be constructive for us to stand together, holding the vibration and frequency of new for all divine counterparts here on earth, whether it is new in your connection or a new connection altogether. We're going to stand together and meditate and call forth the energy of quantum leap forward, quantum energy entering the connection and allowing us to move into the next cycle and the next season as upliftment and elevation for all of humanity as leaders here in love. So mark your calendar, Saturday 21st, that's this Saturday, 3 p.m. And you can always re-listen at a time when you can get quiet and centered. The only thing that you might want to bring, you don't have to if you don't have it, small candle. We're going to work with fire energy since we've got the divine counterparts together in a fire sign. I'm going to guide you through a process of using fire as part of your intention setting. Okay. We'll start the meditation or we'll gather at 3. I'm going to do some light Q&A first about the union window. I'm going to take a couple of questions. And then right around 3:30, we're going to start meditating together. And we'll do the candle work so that we are anchoring the union energy precisely as we hit the new moon's peak point at 3:53 p.m. Okay. It's going to be a potent time. All right. And yeah, if you want to get 101 and you want to get 301 to support you in the union with self energy, the link to do so is right below this video. You can either get it on my website or go to the link below. Get the life purpose package. We're going to talk all about coming into union with self through understanding your North Node, which is the entire function, reason, and purpose God put you here on this earth. So we're going to get into it there. All right. Okay. And the calendar is open for one-on-one time. If you want to book some private time, you can do that as early as February. Let's go ahead and have a listen to this excerpt from Star School. Is that and I mentioned this in the most recent lunar update for twins that I provided on the channel so that everybody had understanding and awareness, is that this moment that we're in right now, let's just say the month of January, February, March, this first 90 days is functioning a bit more like that first week of school doors opening where students aren't invited in. There's no action. School's not technically in session, but it is the teachers getting access to their classrooms, setting up lesson plans, arranging desks, making sure they have all their supplies. Like, school's definitely happening, but this is a preparatory period where the energy is hitting Earth. It's recalibrating us cellularly, DNA wise. However, it is not there's not necessarily movement at this particular juncture unless you were one of the twins who needed, it was like in your path. You guys planned to, you both had been working really hard with the energy and within yourselves. There's been lots of communication in 2022. These folks, I have seen this energy already leading to like coming together, proposals, lots of communication, seeing one another, reconnecting in the physical, revelation. This is who I really am. I'm curious if you actually accept me here. And likewise for the other person, lots of self-compassion, new understanding of the other person in the third dimension. None of this is in the 5D. It's all happening in the physical. For people who have been doing the work for a while, they've really, remember, in a few different posts last year, I drew a picture of how pushy union window energy is. It like yanks you toward your twin while simultaneously having you knock straight into the wall standing in between the two of you so that you can go, oh, if I don't want to keep hitting this wall, I have to remove the blocks, whatever they are for you personally.
That's
and
how I
so
feel the last
for
8 years.
those who certainly have the 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th house Aries placement, and you've not experienced any movement with your twin, and it's been a long time, this period of time leading up to this and through this first part of the year is in the process of revealing to you, here's why you're not experiencing movement. You haven't forgiven your father. You're still addicted to that substance or behavior. You're not changing your career, and you've been burnt out, frustrated, underpaid, despite having a gift that you're meant to operate in. You're still hanging out with people who undermine you at every turn. You've not set boundaries with your mother. You've not dealt with your financial issues. You would come into this from a place of financial codependency. You still haven't divorced your ex, even though you've been quote unquote separated. You're not sovereign and you're not free. This period of time has created a level of like hardcore, in your face revelation, no apologies revelation about why you are where you are with your person at this time. It's been, and Aries is like that. Aries makes no bones about what's real. It's very naive, foot and mouth, like, I'm just going to state it blunt. That's the kind of energy we're all moving through right now. And the divine service of this to us is that we cannot lie to ourselves about why our connections are where they are and where they're headed and what's going to be required. The gift in it is that Aries is also the naivete of it is like the minute I get it, I start moving, I get in action. It's like, oh, that's the problem. Oh, okay, where's the solution? Let me go get it. It's very action oriented in that way. And so there's been push, shove, prod, poke, pull, carrot, stick, whatever it takes. That's also an Aries vibration to get you to get it. About why you are where you are, because I really do believe that if you are a divine counterpart incarnate and you're clear about this, there's no questioning about ascension partners, soulmates, or any other label. You're just clear. Yep, that's the other half of my soul. It's hanging out in that body. I've seen it. I know it. I don't care what anybody else says about it because I need no external validation. If you know that you know that you know, it's my sense that if you've incarnated on earth at this time and the universe has conspired for the two of you to meet one another against all the odds that would keep you separate, the potential for you to come together in any configuration of union that you would like is absolutely plausible for you. And the strength of twins together on earth is incredible, but the connection will use you in any way the connection can. So if you've got blocks that you can't figure out how to remove, you're still going to be a conduit of love. You're still going to be on mission. You're still going to be able to bring things in the format of higher level love energy to your communities, to your families, etc. The connection can thrive in the third dimension. Certainly the pull is there, but that's a little bit like a motivational stick to get on with doing the heavy lifting and hard work, or carrot to get on with it, not the stick. Is it guaranteed? No. You've heard these people in the comment section on every channel on YouTube. I gave up on my twin. It was just too hard. And it wasn't because like they were not willing to look in the mirror. My guides have been so clear with me. Everything that's happening on that side of the street, they're self-loathing. They're giving up on themselves. Their poor relationship with their mother. They're not choosing you. It's all happening over here too. When you're in a divine counterpart connection, specifically a twin connection, ain't nothing happening over there. It's not happening over here. And so this energy, like the bright lights, the hard truths, the bluntness of it that Aries brings to the table is truly meant to assist us in getting the heck out of our own way. And regardless of what the chart says and shows, and the chart's going to show a lot of things, right? It's going to show the house where you're supposed to be getting the work done in that sets you up for any kind of union you want in the future. It's going to show you where the blockage is, if there's a lesson that needs to be, triumphed in, there needs to be some victory in a particular lesson at this time. It's going to reveal these things to you. But this is just kind of like, because the energy's been so demanding about open your eyes. The truth is sitting right in front of you. That's one of the things about Aries energy. It's so obvious. Like Aries people have, God bless you, no fucking chill. Like they just make it plain. It just comes out of their mouth. There's no discretion. There's no nuance. There's no subtlety. This stuff is in our freaking face right now. And so it would take someone who's being willfully blind to not see what the work is at this point. And I get it. We all have blind spots. Sometimes it is hard to see that which has been painful to look at. So it can be helpful, to have sessions with someone like me who can look at the chart, hear your story, and go, this is the circumstance. This is where the work is. But, it can union happen? Yes. Can the planets happen? Yes. Will they force it to? No. Will they continue to push you and yank you? Absolutely. But if you're just not willing to look, well, there's not a whole lot they can do about it. So hopefully that kind of treatise on that waxing poetic there on how this energy is working and the influence Aries has on the circumstance of union provides everyone with a little bit greater clarity, or a lot of it, around, okay, got it, is what I need to do. Because like I said, Aries is in your face. No chill. None whatsoever. Foot and mouth all the time. That's both its gift and its curse. Virgo's so organized, it organizes itself into a web of overthinking in a corner. They're the people you want on your team to make sure projects get done in the right order, in the right sequence. But goddamn, if they don't slow things down, paying attention to so many details. Every sign has its light and shadow. There's no perfect sign. But when we have a union window in a particular sign, there's like a reason why it's happening in this sign. And I really believe that it's because twins are needed now on Earth more than ever. This frequency is needed. And there's not a better sign of the 12 for this union window to have occurred in, because Aries is so demanding of and like it's almost as pushy as Taurus and having its way and relentless. Like it's just like, oh, that's not how I do it. Okay, what's the way to do it? Next, okay, that's not how. Okay, what do I do? It's very go-getter, very action-oriented. It's very focused on how do I produce the result. That's not it. Okay, let me try this. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, let me try this. It is let me get it done and ambition energy to the max. And there's it's like we can't afford, given what we're seeing going on in the world at this moment, to operate any other way. You get it? You see how there's like divine, there's like cosmic order to this, right? You guys seeing it? So hopefully that provides like a bit bigger picture for you around how it's all unfolding. Next, my client asked about the previous union window, which took place in 2015. Mid 2014 to 16 would have been the 2-year window, 1 year on either side. She wanted to know if the energy of that period, how the energy of that period of time influenced things going forward since 2015, were the counterparts coming together inside of Leo.
Okay.
When they come together, the sign they come together in is indicative of the vibration and the frequency that both the counterparts are going to be working in over the course of the next cycle, but also what they're giving to the world. And with Leo energy in 2015, all twins that came together in that cycle between 2015 and I'd say probably December of 2021, were working under the Leonine cycle, which was about sovereignty. It was about creativity. It was about being able to own your authority and power, right? And in that way, it had to do with both liberation, but it also had a lot to do with like calling your shots in your life, not being bulldozed and steamrolled, letting life push you around, letting your past push you around.
Yep.
And so you should have seen anyone who came together in that cycle as you worked through things in your divine counterpartship. All signs pointed toward greater sovereignty. Every lesson brought you toward greater sovereignty, brought you into being able to really own you, own yourself, own your stuff, own your space.
Well, which is
Yeah. And likewise, like as the first sign of the zodiac and the most opposite from the most relational sign of the zodiac, that's Libra, right? It's the very opposite energy of Libra energy, which is about union and coming together. Aries is opposite that on the wheel. It's about independence and individuality, right? We're going to see more and more people move into this very individual mindset focus at the moment. That's precisely what's needed in order for anything in the last cycle that's caught us up in separation consciousness to come back into cultivating a union energy by starting with getting done with being separated from ourselves, right? So I just want to say that for Leo to get caught in a separation energy, each sign can get caught in a separation energy. But the vibration and frequency of Leo in separation is a lot of pride. It's pride, it's ego, it's the energy and the vibration of separating from others because of attachment to certain identities within the self. And so I wanted you to, I'm interjecting that piece here. I did not get to say it to the students when I spoke to them, but I'm saying it here now so that you understand the flow of coming out of the shadow if it happened, right? For some people, they didn't, as they integrated the light side of Leo's union energy, they didn't induct any of the shadow side of Leo. Some people did, depending upon what they were working on, how it triggered them, what it brought up. And so now, as we move into this next cycle, union with self through Aries, we have an opportunity to release quite a bit of that. Right? And so if you're manifesting anything, if you're the kind of person who prays or meditates or manifests, to work with this energy, my strong recommendation is that your manifestation is that your counterpart comes into union with themselves. They know themselves, they hear themselves, they see themselves, and they act on the truth of their authenticity. They're in union with their own mission and why they came here to earth. They are in union with the truth of who they are, their authority and their power, and their uniqueness and their gifts. They're in union with Source and the Creator that imbued them with their power as a divine being incarnate. If there's anything to manifest at this time, it is that. Because via that process, yeah, they'll find you. They'll find you. And the same goes for you.
Interesting.
And so I add that little bit here. This is that they will find you via coming into union with self. For anyone who has angst and agita about their counterpart being elsewhere, doing other things with other people, or just not being present with the connection, and they feel like they've been so present, but the counterpart's been so not present. The reality of Aries and its counterpart energy, which is Libra, is that there's nothing happening over there that isn't already also happening over here. The mirror is absolute and it does not lie. So that's the first piece. But the second piece is if you want some format of third dimensional traditional union, which, my student had asked about in general, like, does this, if this energy manifests in certain houses, does it mean there's no third dimensional union for people? I would say that's not necessarily the case. I would say if that's something that in your heart of hearts, that's something you want and something you've certainly been shown is in your path, the work at this time is about coming home to you, eliminating any separation you have from yourself, Aries energy. And if you pray and meditate and manifest, you want to go that route, you can do that as well in the counterpartship so that you can come into full union with self, because the only way to get to Libra energy, seventh house, seventh sign energy, is first we have to go through the energy of the preceding signs, and the kickoff is Aries, the first one. And if we want to be whole with another, we have to be whole with ourselves first. We want to manifest the energy of coming together with another. We cannot be fragmented within ourselves. What will get mirrored back to us is precisely our own fragmentation. And so this, for those who feel, very connected to a union with a counterpart path of whatever label, flavor, and color you give that name for counterpartship, the work at this time for all of us is to really leverage and harness the power of the mirror in the connection and the way that it's revealing what we need to do to come home to ourselves. And if you want to take that mastery step of adding prayer and meditation and manifestation for the connection, you can certainly do that. But the hardest thing to fix when we don't like what we're seeing in the mirror is shifting the internal action that's creating what we're seeing. And so I would say that's probably the most important thing anyone can do at this time who's looking for third dimensional union. All right, that concludes the excerpt. I can't tell if I had something repeat in there. I think I might have. Good grief. I really don't like editing. I'm trying my best, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed today's content and it gave you the insight and the information that you needed to be able to walk in power in this union window. Allow the union energy to work with you instead of feeling like you're getting pushed and shoved around by it or not participating in it at all. Because this energy is hitting the totality of Earth and you are on Earth and therefore receiving these activations already. So hopefully the information today provided you what you needed to be able to take your next step. So yeah, set your calendar. I'll see you on Saturday or at a time that's convenient for you for the re-listen. And if you'd like to book some time or jump into Star School before Sunday, Do it now before spots fill up. Thank you so much for every like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's always my pleasure. Take great care. Bye for now.